Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started. And I have a guest with me today. We're going to have a really fun time. We're going to keep it short and quick and really to the point. So if you are a parent and you make less than 70K, then this is definitely the video for you. Definitely keep watching. So first, let's do a little intro, and then we can jump into a little game. There's going to be a chance for prizes. There's going to be a discount code. I will start by introducing myself, and then I will pop it over to Ashley, who I'm really excited for you all to meet. She's going to make this so much more fun. But I am Erin. I am the Chief of Staff at Let's Get Set. And Let's Get Set offers tax tools and support for parents making less than 70K. That's really the crux of what we do. And I joined Let's Get Set several months ago because I was just really excited about the mission. I wanted to help people. I wanted my career, you look at like, what do you want out of your career at the end of your life? And I wanted to help people. So that's why I'm part of Let's Get Set and why I'm excited to share more about us with y'all today. I will punt it over to Ashley and she can tell us a little bit about who she is.
Thank you so much, Erin. Hello, everybody. I'm so grateful to be here with each and every one of you today to talk more about Let's Get Set and the importance of having a tool and resource like this. So I'm Ashley Watson. I am a mother of a 10-and-a-half-year-old. She is in 5th grade and she's every bit of the preteen that's going on. So if that's you, I'm sure we can probably chat offline because it's a whole thing. But I reside in Dallas, Texas, and things that I enjoy doing is sleeping. I'm a mom, so when I get that time, everyone's like, what do you do for self-care? I sleep, and I have no regrets or guilt about it. And then other than that, just going behind my daughter and just supporting her and being the best parent that I can be, but also taking care of myself in the meantime. So that's who I am.
I love that's your self-care, just like trying to get some hours of sleep in.
Yes, no shame at all.
That's right. You can't. All right. Well, let's start off with something fun first, and then we'll get into Ashley answering some questions and talking a little bit about her experience with Let's Get Set and what it's meant to her. So I am going to share my screen and we're going to play a little quiz game. It's going to be 4 questions and there's going to be a prize for every single question for the person who guesses closest or the first person to guess it right. And these are all just fun tax knowledge. Everyone loves taxes. So here's the first one. How much money in total tax credits do parents miss out every year? So of all the parents in the US that are making less than 70K, how much money is left on the table in tax credits? And we'll see who can get closest to this question. I know it was a surprising number for me.
Yeah, this is a crazy question. I hope my money is the ones not sitting up there on the table.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So I'm getting some answers. I'm going to go ahead and reveal. It is 12 billion every single year is left on the table, which is super frustrating and depressing. Especially, Ashley, you're one of the people that is leaving that money on the table. I know you're not, but I know you work with a lot of moms that could be.
Right.
All right, let's go to the next question. All right, you are a parent with 2 kids. How much in federal credits could you be eligible for? So you and your family, what's the max amount in a federal refund or a federal credits that you could get if you're a parent that's making less than 70K? Ashley, do you know the answers to these?
Oh my goodness, no. I only have one kid and not trying for two, so I don't know about this one.
That's totally fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the answer is over $9,000. So it's a really, really big amount of money that you could, and that is for people, even if you're making like $20,000, you could be getting a good chunk of this. So you don't need to make all the way up to 70K. Often it's people that are like closer to 40K or below that are really seeing the peak in these credits. So I know 70K can sound like a really big number. You can still get so much money, even if you're not making that much. All right, let's go to the next question. If you make less than 70K a year, what's the minimum you have to pay to file taxes? Ashley, I hope you know this one at this point.
Yes.
Okay. Ashley has been with us for, well, we've been working with Ashley for a couple of years now. So we've given her some tax knowledge. So she's not a newbie at this.
No.
All right. So the answer is 0. If you make them less than 70K, there are free options out there for you to file. And I think this is something that is a myth often, that you have to pay a lot of money to file your taxes. And I think it stops a lot of people from doing it. So I just want everyone to know you don't need to pay anything unless you want to.
Good. So that means don't get caught up in Walmart, y'all. The Jackson Hewitt, if you make less than 70,000, you're probably in the wrong place.
That's right. That's right. All right. Last question. For a family that makes less than 70K a year, how much on average do you pay to file? So we know now that it costs you don't have to pay anything, but how much on average do people spend to file their taxes in this bracket? I don't know if you know this, Ashley.
No, not at all. But I remember when I first filed my taxes with the father of my child, and we paid like $200 because we were co-parenting and we were trying to figure it out. And we went to this tax preparer. She gave us all of this fancy stuff that we didn't even know how to read. And it was like,
right. Yeah, which is like a good chunk of change. Like you can do so many other things with that chunk of change. Well, you're actually a little bit on the lower side, Ashley. You'll pay $400 on average in this group to get their taxes prepared. So that's a really big bummer. Angry face. That's how I feel about it. So with that, if you were the closest or you got it right, we're going to give you a little gift card prize. Stay tuned in our chat. But I'm going to stop sharing and we're going to have a little get to know Ashley. She's going to give us all of the dirt and the details on Let's Get Set. And I will tell you, like, Ashley is not going to hold back. You're going to get the true story with Ashley, which is why we invited her. I don't know what she's going to say. We'll see what she pulls out. I'm hoping most of it's positive, but, you know, she's going to give us the real truth. So first question for you, Ashley. You know, I know we've been working with you. You're a mom, but you also work with us through one of our partners. And we've been working with you for a couple of years. And I wanted to hear more from you about your experience and why you work with Let's Get Set.
Yes. So for those of you who don't know, I work for Nurse Family Partnership, which is a national nonprofit that focuses on a home visiting program. We partner a nurse with the first-time parent from pregnancy until the child is 2. And we serve first-time moms in 40 states across the whole country. So if you are interested or know somebody who's with their first child, then you definitely should take a look at Nurse Family Partnership. I was actually a mom in the program when I first had my child. And now, like I told you all earlier, my baby's 10 years old, and I have chosen to stay connected to the organization because it really means so much to me. And so I'm grateful to be a part of the work where parents are staying connected to the organization and participating in advocacy and things like that. But and so I had ran across Let's Get Set by working with Nurse Family Partnership because we're always looking for resources to support the nurses who are talking with the parents there on the ground. And we had connected with Let's Get Set. At the time, they were like a little startup company, you know, trying to find moms, like chomping at the bits, like, where's mom's, where's mom's? And they came across Nurse Family Partnership, and I'm so glad that they did, because it is really, Let's Get Set is really an underutilized resource that parents like us need. When we first have our kid, we hear people making, $4,000, $5,000. You hear your cousins talking about they claiming kids and stuff because they're getting all this money, which don't do that. But it's like, how can we know that there's money out there for moms who have their kids? And so working with Let's Get Set, when I had met with the co-founder, Claire, and I was like, wow, she is like really genuine. And I even had questions, and she would text me and find out, and I'm working for the organization. And so I just felt like this was a real personable organization to work with. And then Erin came along, met you this year. And so I just really feel that I love working with Let's Get Set.
Oh, I love hearing you talk about that, Ashley. I think, it's been great to work with Ashley too. And I think that's one of the things that I really like about Let's Get Set is that it is about the people. It is about helping the moms, and really connecting with Ashley and like, hey, what's the actual problem that we can solve for your moms? And making sure it's personal for them. So it's great to hear. Okay, next question coming at you. What is the most important thing for the parents that you serve that they've gotten out of Let's Get Set?
Honestly, I would say, I think the most important thing is knowing, because I know a little bit more of the background, but for someone who like utilizes this resource and wants to share with other moms, I think the most important thing is that knowing that this business was built for moms like us, parents like us. I think that is just such a testament to why you all are continuing to do the work that you're doing and you're building over year after year, is because you're listening to the feedback that we have. I know that I've gotten emails and you all have asked for parents' advice, like, hey, how does this sound? Or what does this look like? Does if clicking here and it takes you here? So I just feel like the genuineness that you all bring to the table is the most important thing, because as parents, there's so many resources that are out there. And to have someone that is trustworthy and someone who values the feedback of the parents, I think is priceless. And so I think that's the kind of the most important thing that you all bring to the table that y'all serve.
That's great. And it's, there's so many resources, you're right. And it is very hard to know which ones to trust and, and pick them. And that, we really value the feedback that we get from the parents every year, even, in the midst of it, I'm having an issue with this, I'm having an issue with that, because we want it to be really easy and accessible. So that is, that's gold for us too. Okay, here's a question that I think we will be able to just answer in a way that I can't answer. What advice would you give to parents that are thinking about using Let's Get Set or thinking about filing their taxes? I know a lot of people, they haven't filed taxes before. So what advice would you give to these parents?
I would say just give it a try. Just give it a try, see if it's a fit for you. And honestly, if it's not a fit for you, you've just been able to access all types of questions, personal questions through, I don't know if we haven't talked about the text line yet, but Let's Get Set has a text line where you can text them and then they'll send messages back to you. And even like in the first year when I was using Let's Get Set, I sent a text message and just full-blown information that I had questions for was coming right back in a text message. I didn't have to go to the website, do a contact us form, wait, send it to like a general inbox email. I got straight to a tax expert on a text line. And to this day, you can still do the same thing. So my advice would be just give it a try, see if it's a fit for you, ask those nitty-gritty questions, put those tax experts to work. And then if you choose not to go with them, then you don't, and you don't have to, but at least you have this information that would probably cost you hundreds of dollars to even step into a building or try to hunt down somebody who can give you that question basically pro bono, and Let's Get Set kind of that.
That's so true. Yeah, I think some people don't realize that they can sign up for free and use the text line for free. You just have this access to ask all of your questions, and it is an actual person behind the text line. I know sometimes you like sign up for these things and you go to these websites, right, and you're like trying to get help and it's a chat bot, and then you're just so frustrated. I've definitely had a lot of those experiences, and it's a real person. It's like answering your very detailed specific questions. So
yeah, and even I had text a question the other day, and I didn't message back because I had got the answer that I needed. And then I had got another text like, hey, still there? Just let us know if you need any more help. And I was like, okay, let's get that. I am still here and I have not filed. So I'm glad you're still with me. So, I mean, that would just definitely be my advice. Just give it a try, y'all. Just give it a try.
Yeah. Okay. Glad we got back to you. Glad we were there to support you in your time of need. Okay, next question. Yeah, can you talk a little bit about examples of kind of how you've seen Let's Get Set impact other people in your work, and how it's been, championed through your organization and the other parents that you work with?
Yeah, so through Nurse Family Partnership, we work with over thousands and thousands of first-time moms across the country. And so Let's Get Set is just really a trustworthy organization where we're sending this information out to thousands and thousands of first-time moms. And then also in my portfolio of work, the moms who are no longer in the program, the parents who have graduated, we have an alumni group. So it's like 3,000 of us who are in the alumni group, and I'll send emails to them. We've kind of done like a live thing like this before. Mm-hmm. We have our own Facebook group. So I'm always like, hey, y'all, try Let's Get Set, try Let's Get Set. And, I bet some people are like skeptical and like opting out of my emails because I keep sending it. But there have been a few moms who've reached out to me and they're like, hey, I used Let's Get Set. It was awesome. I got my refund and I'm so glad that I went through them. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like there's other moms outside of me who are actually using this resource. So I thought that was really great. And then also, because I'm sharing this with parents like me, there's actually been other parents in our Facebook group who are like doing like little memes about, there was actually this meme that she posted. You all probably heard that song, like INDEPEND is like spelling out independent. And the meme was like, I need a dependent spelled out. And it was like, hey, y'all, don't forget about the resource for Let's Get Set. And I was like, oh, look at this other mom, who's championing the work for Let's Get Set. And honestly, I don't know if she's used you all or not, but the fact that she's comfortable sharing information about a trustworthy organization that she got it from, I think that just says a lot of value to the organization that she stayed connected with, of course, like through Nurse Family Partnership, but us partnering with other organizations. And many of you parents may heard of Let's Get Set through a organization that you're from or been a part of, or have connected with. And so I think that says a lot when our organizations partner with you all.
I have to say a lot of the parents, or even Ashley, you guys are so much more creative in putting together these memes and like sharing information. I love seeing things like that because it's really engaging and captivating. So I love that. And of course, it's always, it warms my heart to hear these little stories because we don't always get to hear as much of it back, so it's always great to hear the little stories of how it really did impact a parent, change their trajectory for the year and like get this good chunk of change in their pocket.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, last question to really dig the dirt up on. Okay. Let's Get Set. Okay. So what are the biggest reasons of people not using Let's Get Set?
I would probably say because you all are new. You're not Jackson Hewitt, you're not TurboTax, y'all don't have tons of stake in the game. So I think that may be like a reason why people may not want to connect with you all. but hopefully in the long run, that's 10 years down the line, y'all can be like a credible organization that people would want to connect to. So that may be some of the reasons why parents aren't using Let's Get Set. And then outside of that, I don't know.
You don't have a pulse on every single parent out there, Ashley. You don't have all the reasons.
Yeah, no, not at all.
No, that's really valid. We are newer on the scene, and I totally understand that it does make some people nervous. Like, it is a very sensitive experience to file your taxes. There's a lot of personal information.
Right.
We do have a tax partner that makes sure that everything is very credible, and we do have a lot of protection out there to make sure that we protect all of our people that use us, all of their information. So but totally understand. It's scary to put your information into something sometimes.
Yes, and especially when you're logging in to you all's website, and it's like, oh, what's your name? What's your phone number? And then y'all sending us text messages automatically. It's kind of like, hold on, how do y'all even know I want to utilize this? So but that's just shows the tenacity that you all have for sure. So,
yeah, I definitely understand. That is like sometimes a little overwhelming at first, but that's how we give you the tax support too. We want to make sure that everyone has support as soon as they sign up, because it's a really important thing for us to know that we're supporting the parents that sign up with us. So
y'all do that. So kudos to you all.
Thanks, Ashley. Okay, a couple quick questions from the audience, and then we'll wrap up and share the discount codes so you guys can get a discount on Let's Get Set. I know I'm always waiting around for a discount code. So here's a big question that comes up all the time. Do I have to pay to use Let's Get Set? No, you do not have to pay to use Let's Get Set. There are free options available to use Let's Get Set. And like what we covered in the quiz, you have an option to file for free. I know I keep talking about this discount code, so you can also file on our platform, similar to how you would do it on other softwares. And that just offers more support. Sometimes it's an easier path. Really, we want to make sure that whatever path makes sense for you is available for you. So there's a free option, and then you can file with us for $60, except it's going to be $36 if you use the discount code, which is cheaper than some other options out there. I will just say that. Okay, next question we got popped up. What if I'm undocumented? There are still options for you to file. If you have a kid that has a social security number, you can still get this money. If you didn't file last year, the rules were different, so you might be able to get money for last year. There was a lot of money available last year. So that is definitely something to think about if you are undocumented. And then let's see, let's do last one. Oh yeah, if I'm not able to sit down and do it all at once, does it save my work? Yes, it does save your work. This is made for busy parents. We know that you guys like have something on the stove, you guys are like trying to answer the door, you're chasing a kid around the living room and while trying to do your taxes. That's real life. So yes, it will save your work, and you can hop back in when you're ready to do it. In fact, most people do not do it in one go because they're busy parents. So yes, that is definitely set up for you. Okay, anything else you want to add, Ashley, before we wrap up and share the discount code?
I would just say, I know she had mentioned about the pay. So you're probably like, wait, what pay? Like $60? But just remember that everything before you press submit on the Let's Get Set platform is completely free. Okay, so the text line is free, the filling out the forms, putting your information in there, all of that's free. Utilizing any other support or resources that they have on their website, all of that is free. So only when you are putting in your W-2s and adding your dependent and going through all of that, and then having that option of paying, which now we get a discount code. Mama use that. And file with them, that's when you pay. So just be confident in that.
And I do want to say, like, it is a flat rate. I know sometimes, you go into some of these platforms and it's like all of a sudden you're racking up these extra charges and
Yeah.
you don't know where that's coming from. It is the price, the price, the price. There is nothing else extra. So I know, yeah, that can be sometimes confusing. All right, let's share the discount code. I will share my screen. So it is LGS Live. That gets you 40% off our online filing platform. You have to use it by March 14th. So make sure you get in there, do your taxes. That also means you get your money back sooner when you do your taxes sooner. I know doing taxes is not always fun. I also procrastinate on doing my taxes. But yeah, make sure you get in there and use it by the 14th. The only pieces of information you need to sign up for our platform to start is your phone number and your email. So try to make it really quick for y'all. If you want a little bit more information before getting started, you can go to this page here, letsgetset.co/social. We'll share a little bit more about who we are. But if you're ready to sign up and use that discount code, go to letsgetset.co/join, and you'll be prompted to use the discount code right before you put your card information in. So don't worry if you like go through onboarding and all of that in the platform, you haven't seen a space for a discount code. We will give you a place to put your discount code in closer to when you would be charged. And then you can subscribe to Let's Get Set here on YouTube or other channels on our Instagram and TikTok. And we have more tax tips coming out all the time. So thank you so much for joining. Please get your refund. Please get the money that's owed to you. And thank you so much, Ashley, for your time. I always love collaborating with you. You make everything so fun. So thank you so much for joining, Ashley.
Thank you.
All right. And that is it, everybody. Thank you.